For more on the DA's Gauteng conference, let's cross to our reporter, Samkele Maseko. Samkele, a very good morning to you. What's the scene like where you are at the moment?
Congress of the Democratic Alliance in Gauteng is pretty much getting underway now. At 9 o'clock, we did see the federal chairperson of Council, Helen Zille, going into the conference plenary. The DA leader will also be here, and the federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance. They will also be part of this particular Congress of the Democratic Alliance in Gauteng. For a province that is pretty much up for grabs comes the 2024 general election. You've got Msimanga, the incumbent provincial leader, being contested by Khume Ramulifho, who is the shadow MMC of education in the province of Gauteng, and also a former regional chairperson of the Democratic Alliance in the Joburg South and the Johannesburg region. But I'm going to bring in Mr. Werner Horn now, who's one of the presiding officers for this particular Congress. Mr. Horn, just the essence of what procedure will be followed in this provincial Congress of Gauteng, and what are the voting delegates' numbers? How are they staggered?
Yes, good morning. Potential delegates stand at 962. We confirmed at 8 o'clock already, although registration technically will only close at 9:15, that we've reached a quorum, so that's more than 50% of delegates having arrived and registered. So once Congress is now opened, the presiding officers will confirm that a quorum has been reached, and then of course the Congress will proceed to deal with the business of the day, constitutional amendments, adopting some resolutions, and then during lunchtime the election of leadership.
When you look at the number of delegates that are here, you've got two contenders for the position of provincial leader. Which system do you then use for that particular election? Is it the usual Democratic Alliance election system it's very complicated? I myself at times find it very difficult to understand it. Or is it a straight win between who gets the highest numbers between the two candidates for provincial leader?
Yeah, no, of course, when there's two candidates only, it's a simple first past the post. So whoever gets the most votes will then be declared winner. That's the case in respect of both the leader position and the chairperson position. But for the deputy chairperson position, there's 5 candidates. And then, of course, we use what we call a single transferable vote system, where the candidates who receive the fewest number of first choices, their second choices are transferred, and then we settle on a winning candidate.
Gauteng, the province is up for grabs. The Democratic Alliance's last Congress, you've had leaders like John Moody leave the party, Msimanga then subsequently came and took over. When you look at the party and the contestation here, is this one of the historically most contested provincial congresses of the DA in this province? Or how would you characterize this particular Congress?
Yeah, look, as a presiding officer, I can say the contestation has been robust but constructive. And you're quite correct. It's quite clear that the level of intensity of the internal campaigns reflect the fact that Gauteng, as you said in your introduction, is up for grabs. Both candidates have pitched to delegates a message to say that they're the one who can unite the party and attract Gautengers who has not yet voted for the party, so that hopefully we can emerge as the biggest party post-election 2024.
When you look at your own internal research, if you may indulge us with that, what is the Democratic Alliance's own internal research saying of how far you are faring when it comes to the voters in Gauteng, your own internal one?
Yes. Now, our own internal research show that the trend established in previous elections, and which was escalated in the local government election of 2021, where the ANC failed in a massive way to come close to 50%, will be repeated. Our own polling suggests that if we do things right in the run-up to election 2024, we really also have a big opportunity to emerge as the biggest party in Gauteng.
No, thank you very much. The last question is, who will open this particular Congress? I saw the federal chairperson of council, Ms. Helen Zille, going in. Is the leader, John Steenhuisen, also coming?
Yes, both of them will address Congress in their respective capacities, but of course the incumbent chair, Fred Nel, will be in charge of the, let's say, the proceedings. And then we ordinarily have masters of ceremonies and cheerleaders. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but both John Steenhuisen and Helen Zille is due to address Congress today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vernahon. That is Mr. Vernahon, who's one of the presiding officers of this particular Congress of the Democratic Alliance. It's going to be very interesting between Khume Ramulifho and Msimanga for the position of provincial leader of the Democratic Alliance. Looking at the history of these two individuals, Msimanga is a former mayor in Tshwane. He's also the incumbent provincial chairperson. He was part of the DA's what may say lackluster performance in the 2019 general election, where he was the premier candidate of the party here in the province of Gauteng. And interestingly, the Democratic Alliance has stopped announcing their premier candidate of Gauteng because of this particular Congress that is taking place today. In order not to try and influence this particular outcome, you do have three candidates for the position of premier candidate of the Democratic Alliance. It is Khalib Kachalia, it is Msimanga, it is Khume Ramulifho. All three of them went to their interviews, but the DA has communicated to them that it would not announce the premier candidate of Gauteng until this particular Congress is done and dusted, in order not to try and influence the outcomes of a Congress.